we got a returning guest, man. One of my boys, man. One of my guys, man. A real lyricist, man. An activist in the community. Somebody who's spreading knowledge for you young men, especially of color. My boy, Ryan the Deuce. Ryan the Deuce, say what's up to the people.
Peace, brother. Peace to the people. What's going on? We in here. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So, I want to get into the music. Um, I remember you telling me when you
Mm.
first got out that you wasn't really pushing the music too hard. You was doing more activist work. You was going more into like counseling and helping the kids. But now I see you fully active being a rapper, man. How you feel?
Well, of course I feel great. It wasn't it was never that I wasn't gonna do the music. It was that, I went through some shit getting out of prison, having surgery on my face, all that, learning how to, articulate well again. So it was more so like, niggas get out of prison, they be living unrealistic, bro. Like for
Right.
me, it was like, nah. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. I got a daughter, I got a wife, you know what I'm saying? And so I made sure that that shit was clicking the way it was supposed to. So, before I decided that like I would jump full time or dedicate a part of myself that I love so much that may not bring me a bag as fast as other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it was I got to a space now where it was like, all right, I could do that now. And then even in doing it, like for real, with the music, I was always recording it. It's just that, Denver's a weird place when it comes to certain things. So I wasn't making my way into certain spaces to go and perform it. But I'm out here now though.
Okay, okay. So how do you feel about the state of hip hop in a whole? Not just in Denver, just in a whole period. How do you feel about the state of hip hop?
It's weird, like it's fucked up, man, because we be having this conversation in like various tables across the country, various groups of people. And so, you know, it's we all know that we have a lane of music that we like specifically, right? Even if you like a couple of different lanes, like you got the lanes that you like. And in the lanes that you like, we would probably all say it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like with the rappers that I listen to, the people who I like to tap into on the east and the west and the south and shit, like I think that they're still making dope shit, so I tap into them. But like overall, you know, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that we're at a time where we've got we have access to more exposure than we've ever had. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be like when Twister gave us that classic with back in the day, it was an overnight celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's real now. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that wasn't real then, or at least it was starting to get real then. But now you can definitely be a nobody yesterday and be a somebody tomorrow. Right. And so we have access to exposure in a way that we ain't never had before. But I think that access is like it's fucked up. Like it's fucked up the level of creativity that like we once got. You know what I'm saying? Like I was tripping probably about an hour ago before we had got on here. I saw a joint from Mike Jones. He had a post up and he was talking about how everybody laughed at him when he put his phone number out there. Remember Mike Jones, right? And
Facts.
he was never like no super rapper or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I liked him though. We all did, I think. For the most part, like we like what he represent. But his creativity, it was unmatched at that time for how he was marketing himself. You see what I'm saying? And so
Right.
even though he didn't necessarily have like the best like lyrical music or conceptual music or nothing like that, he brought a creativity to the space that like made this thing like we could look at him and be like, oh, I fuck with him. I'm tapping into what's going on out there. Like now though, all that exposure has taken away from like the creative shit that would once be in the space. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh shit, I recorded a song in my living room on BandLab. I'm putting this shit out tomorrow because I think it's fire. And the truth is that shit is trash. The quality of it sucks. You're not a good writer. You're not a good freestyler. You know what I'm saying? But you feel like a star.
It
So I
gave too
think
many
that
people easy access, is what you're saying.
absolutely, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't want to, because if you got access to this, whether or not you're good, if you getting money from it, I would never hate on that. You know what I'm saying? So like the exposure has come with like pros and cons, you know?
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I don't know if you can see me. Somebody tried to call me, man, and mess my whole screen up.
It's all good. I see the camera pole. You know,
You can you see me?
I can see you now.
All right. Long as you can see me, then they can. Um, you're right. Like I feel like SoundCloud was great to find new up and coming artists who probably didn't go to a big studio or had to pay for studio time. They might have been at home with a MacBook and GarageBand. But at that point, you actually was finding talented artists.
Right.
Now that TikTok music, Instagram music, Facebook music, I feel like every genre of hip hop has a space where it thrives. Now it's not really about talent anymore. I don't think it's about talent.
It's not about talent. It's definitely not about talent anymore. Because if it was about talent, there's there's levels of this that we would have never gotten to. If talent, if talent, skill set, experience, story, like actual, like lived, like I've lived this thing out and years later, this is what it's turned out to be. Like if that shit mattered anymore, like we wouldn't have gotten to where we're at now. Yo, there's a viral video of I don't even know this nigga's name. It's a viral video of this dude. He's so big that he got to sit on stage on a couch with a breathing mask on while he. You seen it?
I seen him. He had the oxygen mask. I remember. I seen that.
Now, mind you, I would never take away from this man's bag. Get your money, bro. But think about it, sir. You would have never seen that in your era of hip hop, bro. Never, never, man. Come on. Yo, why are we letting you in here? Like, if nothing else, like, all right, even if you can rap, because mind you, Big Pun was here, you know, Biggie was here, Fat Pat was here. Like, there was some niggas who was here that was big. You know what I'm saying? But they were dope. They actually
Facts.
had like a thing that they represented that was like, I relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, you just an obese dude who we can tell whoever is marketing you is just taking advantage of this because they know your fat ass gonna die. You're not gonna be here for long. You not giving us that Frank Whitefield that Biggie gave us. You not give yo. We were in awe at Big Pun simply
He
because he
said he
could
didn't
rap
give
so
us no
fast,
eight
being so
ball
big.
vibes.
You see, you see, like come on, man. Come on, man. Screwed up click was the like for when we first heard that shit, and it was like, oh, this shit is yo, this is different. And then you started hearing all the different people in the screwed up click. That's why we could accept. And so I'm saying, and then even when we get to like Rick Ross, like he doesn't even really. I wouldn't put him in that because he wasn't really like a big dude. He was
Ryan,
big, but
let's
not like
be
big in that way.
honest. When Rick Ross came out, that nigga was dope.
He was
He
right,
was dope.
and his story, even though it had cracked later, it was good. We liked it.
He was good.
You just gonna put this fat nigga in front of us, man, and set him on the couch and give him a breathing mask and let him talk fly about Snoop Dogg in front of us because Snoop Dogg said what we were all thinking? Come on, man. You need to put the cheeseburgers down, homie. Yo, fuck you,
Nah, that
Snoop
he ain't
Dogg,
no
blah, blah,
Fat
blah.
Pat or no eight ball or none of them type of people. You had some niggas that really was dope, like big
That
niggas
was
that was
fire.
dope.
You see?
The
But this is what we
original
get at.
Notorious Big was dope. You know, that's who Big got some of it. That's who he got Juicy from. It was a dude from
Indeed.
somewhere down
I've
south,
heard
the
that.
original
I've heard
Big.
that story recently. They saying that that's
Yeah,
where his
I
flow
did
came
some
from.
research on it. And yeah, it's a fact. It's not even like, a myth or a story that somebody's telling. And you got to
Indeed.
think about it. Not to change subject, but when people were sending in their best demos back then, what do you think they were getting all they hit? The labels were getting the hits from.
Indeed. 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 And now mind you, because you went there, that that right there speaks to why the access to the exposure is so important now. Because back then there were so many who got overlooked because they didn't have access to the exposure. Yo, man, you couldn't just record a song in your living room back then and then just be like, oh, this is going out tomorrow. No, it ain't. It ain't going to. I
Nope.
mean, and if it does, it's going to go out on a CD or it's going to go out on a
And
tape.
yep, unless
Even
you
then,
sold it out the back of your trunk. If you didn't
right,
sell it yourself, that
right.
motherfucker wasn't being sold.
But mind you, and that was in even in once you had it, you still had to go and get the product. Now today, it's you could just burn a CD, but back then you still had to go through the process or go and get you some vinyl or go to a tape place and have you see what I'm saying? So it's like the hustle came even just in after you had access and having access back then was just it was hard. Now you got that shit, burn some shit
This
if
the
you
thing,
still,
Ryan. Back then, you couldn't have that many artists because everybody's CD wouldn't have fed on the fucking shelf. imagine, imagine the
Fact.
shelves right now in like
Mm,
a CD
mm,
store. Man, it'll be every
mm,
aisle so many artists right now. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
It had to be a chosen few. And that's why the chosen few were the greats and were the best because you get what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Now, did they cheat and steal niggas' demos and all kind of steal their names, steal their identity?
Niggas ain't
Yes,
shit.
yes.
It's
I think
fact.
they've been planting niggas in hip hop since the beginning because it's such a it's such a thing where people, base their whole lives around music back in the day.
Mm,
When that Tupac album came out or that Biggie album, you took
mm,
sides and shit. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Some niggas grew up on NWA. That turned them niggas out. They was out shooting
mm,
at people listening to that music. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Especially
mm.
Scarface. I hear a lot of stories about niggas on them Sherm sticks listening to Scarface.
Bro, it was a lot of things like the music. It just so it's a brother that I love dearly. I consider him a brother, my comrade. I met him in the penitentiary. Real nigga, my man Genesis. Right? He tells the story about uh the body that he caught. He was in the car. So he was on the way somewhere with his man, and he was listening to Mobb Deep. And the thing is, the song that he was listening to, God Part 3, I believe is on Hell on Earth. The intro to it is them standing around like they're in an apartment somewhere and they're basically talking like, yo, that's that nigga right there on the corner. That's that nigga right there on the corner. Yo, give me the thing, give me the thing. And then all of a sudden you hear him dump and empty the clip, right? My man tells a story about how, yo, I was on my way to go do a thing. He said that was the last thing I heard before I got out and I emptied the whole thing. And so it speaks directly to the influence of what it always was, how powerful it always was. You would listen to niggas, you would get pulled in. Yo, I was a robber, man. I used to love to ride around and listen to listen. My favorite shit to listen to was Scarface and MOP when I was young.
I
I'm
just
going to
said
rob you. Listen to
Scarface was like
this.
that nigga. For a thug nigga,
You
you
see what I
listen to
mean?
Scarface.
He turn you up. Pac will turn you up. Certain people just had the ability to like, yo, that no limit when they was at their height they had a crazy thing that they did. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the now because it's so easy and you just have access to so much, it's not as fun as it once was to discover new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fun back in the day because you ain't have it like that. So when it came, it was like, oh shit, this now it's like, oh, we got another one of these niggas. All right. Boop. It skip right
You
past
know
you.
what blow
Skip
me?
right past you,
Is
right?
I'm in the airport, man. I'm in the airport all the time, and I'm seeing these celebrities, and I don't know if I'm the only person reacting to them, or
Mm,
am I the only person noticing them. But
nobody
it's
cares.
not what we think. It's not like when we see them.
I can't hear you.
Man, I keep getting phone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You good?
All right. Yeah, so it's like, they just regular people. A lot of these people that was super promoted and flushed down your toilet and pushed in your face. Um, Now that we got all this access to know your personal whereabouts and know your
Mm.
address and what your house look like, they're not so interested no more. What is a celebrity in 2025?
Who know? I mean, because especially when the idea of celebrity at one point was movie star, music star, or athlete, right? And yet today, you could have just had a video that went viral on TikTok. My dude, that ugly ass dude that was like, got him, ah!
I see him all the time. I'm trying to get him on my new show. I see him all the time.
Celebrity. Who gonna say
Yes,
not?
I honestly, and people see him out, and they want to give him money, they want to drink with him, they want to hang with him, and it's so annoying to him because he damn near probably homeless and ain't
Mm,
got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Whoever he was dealing with back in the day, they obviously fucked him out of his money or whatever the situation was. But I talk
mm.
to him and I see him and I tell him all the time, bro, so many people remember you. All you gotta do is come back. You
He's
can come
still
back and make
viral.
more than what you made before. Because you got TikTok and all this shit now. But that nigga was a YouTube sensation. Welvin the Great from Long Beach. He stay out
Mm,
here in Las Vegas. You can catch him on Fremont or downtown Las Vegas, walking around, drinking,
mm.
having a good time, doing him. I seen a nigga on the bus with a girl on the date.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
this nigga's outside, nigga. That
That's
nigga
what's
been
up.
out here for some years.
That's what's up. I'm bad.
I think he might have got a hold of something, and maybe that's kind of what took him over the edge. But when I seen him, he's still the same dude, man. He just, some people really don't give a fuck about that shit. Some people really don't care about money like that.
Mm. Yeah, I
But
seen
he's
a
one of
video of
those
him
people. All he need is
recently.
a
He was
phone.
saying that I guess somebody had caught him like somewhere, maybe passed out or something. And he was explaining like, yo, I'm not homeless. I just drink sometimes when I pass out, blah, 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 but just to know that like he wasn't like he didn't come in the internet space and like he wasn't informative, he wasn't informed. He didn't come like with some great artistic ability that we was like, oh shit, we were all in awe of. You just said something that was funny because you funny looking. And we felt you. And so easily overnight, the Twisted song came to life and you were a celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
tell
mind you,
man, go
those
ahead.
clips still float around now. So.
I tell people all the time, and that's why I throw, a lot of different kind of people on my podcast nowadays versus people who already own. Because I
Mm,
tell the people that I'm trying to get on, you don't know who gonna love you, bro. These people might just love you for no reason, nigga, and that could
mm,
change your life. We see it happen with Welvin. We see it happen with Crip Mac. We see it happen with Akan Drewski. We see it happen with Kai Cient. All them niggas, man. I
mhm,
mean, the ones that we would consider don't have talent. They got
mm.
personality. They got the pizzazz. They know how to make you laugh. You could call them comedians, I guess. But that's really the way. I think it's easier to get on like that than to do music nowadays. You probably could get on faster talking than you can rapping, if you
I
ask
agree.
me.
I agree. Being a personality, yeah, and providing a stream of thought, yeah, for sure.
I'm a proof in the pudding. I did music for 10 years. I did okay. I was local, but this is way bigger than that. I'm like 200 episodes in. This is like 15 albums or something. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So they're an
Indeed.
hour each. So really, this an album each motherfucking episode. So we got 200 albums. You know what I'm saying? If you
Mm,
sit and listen to an hour of this, you listening to a whole album,
so indeed. Hmm.
and it gives us the power to put out music how we want to, put out artists that we want to put out, promote, market. It's kind of like if you got a podcast that's popping, you could kind of create a whole label around
Mm. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, the thing is with the podcast, it's the, you know, It's one of those comparisons, between the music and the content, but the playback ability, the playback ability for content is higher than music than these days. Going back to the creativity, like I'll find and I'll gain more going back listening to this conversation that this person is having, or these people are having, or watching this person go through this set of videos and explain their perspective based on it, versus you gave me another song telling me how high you get, my nigga. Shut up.
Man, that's what's making music so boring too. It's like, what haven't we heard yet? It's a billion songs out. How can you be different?
Indeed. Indeed.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be real
there's
hard.
ways to be different. There's ways to be different. But
It
they,
is. It's
nobody's
a
really
couple
trying to.
ways, but those ways are so positive. Most niggas don't do that in hip hop.
No, it's the
You know
fact.
what I'm saying? You either gonna talk about God, or you gonna talk about life in general, the DMX style way of positivity. Because if you think about overall, DMX wasn't trying to be negative in his music. It kind of was uplifting in a way for a
Indeed.
person that's probably going through mental health, or seeing things the odd way. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. I mean, but it's so shitty that they've condensed this thing down to like just a couple boxes. You know what I'm saying? Like to know it was fucking crazy, man. To know that like you can get you can go further. Like you can really go further. Like we could talk all this gangster shit, but you could really go further by going on a drill yesterday, making a song about it today, and putting it out tomorrow. And
You
the
viral,
whole world to
and if you
tap in.
go to jail, you really viral.
Man, what? You out of here. It's but yeah, but to know that like that is complete that is a complete contradiction when you think about what the purpose in committing crime separate from music is. Like it's a complete if the purpose in committing crime is yo, man, they did this over here, we gotta go over here, we gotta slide, we gotta take care of this. I would
I'm gonna
never,
say, I'm gonna say the West Coast always had gang bang music. New York always had gangster music, but different
for sure.
varieties of that. But once the South and the Midwest got on, I'm gonna blame the Midwest, man. Once Chicago got on, they changed the whole fucking game, and that's what we got right now. This is
Mm,
what, if you think about it, they set the trend on how to get on, and niggas start following that shit.
I agree with that.
I remember every rapper in Chicago was known. Every single one of them, whether they were good or bad, you knew who they were. You get what I'm saying?
But it's the I think that so think about this. So knowing that like the music itself, it it sparked the thing in street niggas when you heard it, right? But for real, it wasn't until academics explained what we were hearing that made it what it was. Like when he explained the war on Chirac, and when he was in those early days of like when
The
he was
propaganda.
him explaining it changed everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now we have a story that makes sense to us. It wasn't just a bunch of random dudes like, oh, we riding, we doing this. It's like, no, 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 no. His song is about these dudes over here, and his song is about them responding to this. And then so once you listen to it now, it looks like the movie, like, oh shit, they really doing this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely, but I can't be mad at him though. I can't be mad. Like I keep, like I be in different moments, like open mics, different shows, amongst different artists. And one of the conversations that happens or has happened a few times is like, where did where the switch flipped between this is the line that we shouldn't cross versus we here, nigga, right? Like when you think about like the early days of what this was, whether it was uh Jay, um, UGK, Cool G Rap, whoever, when you think about the stuff that they used to get on tracks and say to us, one of the things that made it important to understand, if you were just paying attention, was they were already like in their 20s and they had already been going through the process of getting a deal by the time you heard their music. So anything they said, they had already been removed from for a couple of years. By the time you heard it, anything you heard from them, because of the process of how it went, they had already been removed from it. So even though they could still say this, it wasn't necessarily real at that in real time right then. Versus now, you could you said this on a post. I heard it. I wasn't feeling that. I went in the studio. I record this immediately, and tomorrow we'll see the news report about it. So it's not even a like we've lost the sense of timing and the fact that like I just seen Dame Dash talking about this. He was like, "Yo, man, brothers be forgetting like statute of limitation. Like you can't talk about certain shit like in real life, music or not." So when we see niggas get when they coming down with federal indictments and we feeling like, damn, that's fucked up. Oh man, I can't believe it. But it's like, yo, my nigga, you told us what you were doing in real. Yo, Pee Wee Longway, when he just got, you saw that shit about him getting knocked off in Georgia? Not,
I haven't heard it yet. No.
bro. It was probably like 2 months ago. Yo, come to find out, Pee Wee Longway is a real kingpin, a real one.
In a way, I already kind of knew that.
I did no, 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 no. I did too. I did too. But when you think about
We
the fact
real
that
ones, so we could tell when a
you
nigga really
doing this
needs
in
some
real
rap money
time,
and a nigga
yeah,
really don't. You know what
yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
doing
He
this in
always
real
gave,
time.
I don't really need this shit. I'm just good at it, and that's why y'all listening. I'm not trying to. I think he was like, man, this shit worse than the streets. And as I look at it, the rap game is worse than the streets, bro.
Indeed, it is. It is. But mind you, but what would you say makes it worse than the streets versus like what part of it?
Because this nowadays, the internet in the rap game is the streets. You go outside, you probably don't see nobody. You get on the internet, niggas is beefing, getting into it. All kind of shit is going on the internet. That shit ain't happening outside like that.
Hmm, hmm. I
Not
mean,
worldwide. Not where I could get into it with you and you all the way in Washington. You know what I'm saying? Or Colorado. I get into it with you. You in fucking New Jersey. I never met you in real life. Never seen you before. Don't know how tall you are. If you could beat me up or if I could beat your ass, but I'm gonna talk crazy to you on this internet. And then when we run into each other, it's up.
hmm, hmm. So I agree with that. I think the part of it that I think makes music worse than the streets is the fact that in music, you come here to tell everybody what you're doing outside of here or what you once did outside of here, right? And so because of it, it opens up the it opens up too much questionability about like what the fuck it is. Like when Jay said that shit all them years ago on the Blueprint album, I lost 92 bricks and got it all back. It wasn't until probably like just within the last couple years that people are now dissecting that like, what? Desiree Perez, she's part of Rock Nation, and she come to find out she told on the cartel and blah 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 blah. And then when we hear the story about the Haven and Emery Jones, and then when we start to put the whole pieces together, but we're looking at a story that's like 20 years old, 30 years old. We're like 96, 97, 98.
Yep. Niggas is
You
solving
see what I'm
cases
saying?
right now, bro.
But it's from back in the day. These niggas are doing shit in real time, and then the internet is like, "Boo, boo, 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 boo." Yo, Fulio's case was solved in a week by the internet.
By the
By the
internet,
internet,
not by the police where he from. Niggas on the internet figured that out overnight.
And then
Didn't
mind you,
sleep until they figured it out.
and then surf. Think about how crazy it is. It be real street niggas, or at least the idea of, or you know, niggas say anything on the internet, but it be brothers on the internet who will say that they're really this, that are sitting there and they're the ones dissecting all of these details for us to watch, and yet in real life we would never co-sign this. According to the old rules, we would never be cool with you doing it.
That's kind of like snitching. So
But
I don't get online and say everything that I think or that I know is a fact. But I
mm,
see a lot of shit and be like, that's what happened. And I be right. When the information come out, you be like, well, if I'd have got on the internet and said that first. But see, I was on the Diddy shit early, but I was
mm,
joking. I never knew it
mm,
was gonna go to this and that I was right.
I did.
But that's all over the podcast. I even was told by my other co-host, like, stop talking about it. Like just leave it alone. And I'm like, nigga, we gonna get millions of views if I keep talking about this shit, but I'm gonna stop. Now
Mm.
everybody and their mama talking about it, and it blew up and they blew up. And I'm like, man, I should have listened to the motherfuckers, man. I was on to something. Cause real niggas, we know when something
Indeed.
sound a certain way, we like, yeah, that's happening. We know because we know some motherfuckers on the street who is doing the same shit.
But then to have
Similar.
somebody valid, but we were getting validated on things that we were already hearing anyway. Like, think about, like, my nigga, we've been hearing the shit about Diddy for so long. All we needed was somebody to co-sign it. And the federal indictment co-signed it for us. You know what I'm saying? It was
I
like,
didn't never need a
oh,
cosign. I always knew because we be outside and we know.
indeed,
You know what I'm
indeed,
saying? We'd have been on hostros, we'd have been in crack houses, you'd have been jail, we'd have been to jail, we'd have seen it all. So it's really not too much you can run past us without us being able to. We know somebody just like you. They just do
it's
it a little
funny.
different than you do. We know
Nah, I
you,
like the way you
nigga.
worded that.
We know you, nigga. We've seen you before. You're nothing new. You're just a celebrity and it's being put out to the world. In the streets, if bro would have did this in the streets and wouldn't have been drugging niggas and doing that type of shit, he'd have been glorified as like the pimp of the year type shit. Like, nigga, he did it the biggest, nigga. Nigga,
Indeed.
mansions.
We be
Niggas would
so
have been in the
phony.
streets talking about this nigga like a legend
Yeah,
if that nigga
yeah.
wouldn't have did that.
Mm.
But shit, in this 2025, I'm still gonna say he was pimp of the year either way it went.
He was definitely one of them for sure.
That nigga need a
100%.
trophy from the hood at least. If we supposed to
100%.
be about it, like when we were about that world, everything he was doing would fly. We seen older niggas pick up young girls from high school while we went to high school with them. That shit was normal. I'm gonna get on here and say it. It was normal. We seen it.
Mm.
We got an auntie who got a husband she been with for 30 years. She 45, he's 60. And they've been
Yeah.
together for 40 years. You get what I'm saying? You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? I don't know what these people talking about, man. I think today is just a little too sensitive. Everything is
Mm.
it's like every plan that the man put up against us is working.
Mm.
It's all working. And he told us in our face, yeah, we the Illuminati.
But that was
Yeah,
after
we
we
doing this.
participated.
Yeah, I mean, they put it all in our. They the ones fed it to us for us to know.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
this is what's going on. We're untouchable. You can't do a fucking thing about it. You better sit your ass in your house and pray that you safe, nigga, because we come kick your door in whenever we want to.
But
That's the
part of
truth.
it, but part of it though, it came from the fact that we would hear about it and we wanted to know if it was true. Like, yo, to know that like Steve Coakley and all them was doing all them lectures in the 80s and the 90s about the secret society and the skull and bones and blah 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 blah. And then and you know, we hearing it, we like, damn, that shit can't be real. That's real. You think that's real for real? And come to find out it's
This how
real.
you
Not
knew it was real, Ron. This how we both know it was real. It
mm,
happened to the old singers. It happened to Marvin Gaye. It happened to this person. It happened to Michael. Right in our face. Why the
we didn't
OGs
know
is
that
telling
yet
the young
though.
niggas, the
We didn't know it
OGs
yet
was
though.
like, they're raping us. This nigga Prince put slave on his face. He's trying to
We
tell
wasn't
niggas
hip
like,
yet
bruh,
though.
this is not the game to get in.
Indeed. But we wasn't hip yet. Like we didn't understand what we were. They knew what they were saying. Like we know now that Michael Jackson gave us one of the deepest album covers ever in music history. And he's explaining on that cover, like, yo, I'm a part of the thing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then to know all of those moments in which Jay stood in front of us, mind you, I wanted, yo, sir, I wanted as a rapper, bad as a motherfucker, to stand in front of motherfuckers and throw that diamond up, man. I wanted to do that. I wanted to throw the
Yes,
diamond up.
we all did. We all
But then to
did.
learn,
Until we
that's
figured
one of
out
their
what that
symbols.
shit really meant, we were like, oh, hell no.
You see?
And he
It,
had us fooled. I was one of the biggest Jay Z fans. I still love Jay Z music. I try to separate the music from the person because I'm not influenced to do things because I hear your music. Yes, when I heard Wiz Khalifa and Currency for the first couple times, I want to smoke an ounce of weed every day. But I'm not the type
Mhm.
of person to listen to shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, and want to go shoot 'em up and kill 'em up. I'm just not that easily influenced. So music didn't it affected my lifestyle, but it didn't make me make rash decisions and crash out. You get what I'm saying?
Not even
I
once.
wasn't there in life. If I think you gotta it gotta be a little bit of the balance of that shit is already going wrong for you. Your life already fucked up. You already had a traumatizing childhood. So you kind of don't give a fuck about yourself anyway. I always cared about myself. So it was hard for me to just say, fuck it, I'm a roll of dice type shit. Nah, I gotta make sure I hit seven or I ain't even about to roll these motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? Some people care a little bit more than others. You know people like that. Like your homie who probably had the same car for 20 years, but that motherfucker still clean as a whistle. He probably could sell it for 30, 40,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? But having the same motherfucker since he was hustling. Nigga still got the gold chains from back then.
Hmm.
All that shit. Them the niggas I look up to. I don't look up to these regular niggas, man. I look up to OGs who like, nigga, I've been having this same lowrider since I was 19 and I still got let me know what kind of nigga you is. Cause I know how hard that is. To hold
Indeed.
on to some shit, keep some shit, you know, that means something to you. At times when he probably had to sleep in that motherfucker. Like, nigga, it's either I
Hmm.
sell this bitch and go get an apartment, or I'm gonna keep this motherfucker sleeping it for 6 months, nigga, and figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's the people who understand the difference between value and worth, you know? Like, and we're not in a time where like even that is a discussion. It doesn't mean anything anymore because value is you giving us just just going back to the music or going back to the content. Value is you're giving us something that resonates within us that has that playback ability that we'll live with for the next couple of years or perhaps maybe I'll want it for the rest of my life. I'll just keep tapping into it, for the next 20, 30 years, whatever the case may be. But now what's more important is worth. That's why but I was at an event, I was at a music thing a couple weeks ago, and I've been laughing surf at all the niggas running around with like the knockoff of Miriam shit. It's so much knockoff of Miriam Gucci out right now. It's ridiculous,
That
right?
shit don't really matter though. It don't matter like it did when me and you was growing up. It really don't. A woman, bro, is a
Mm,
whole totally different person than what we used to know. First
facts,
of all, they're a whole
facts.
different people. It, the ugliest, dirtiest, um, fucked up looking nigga can get on the app on his phone and order up any bitch he wants. She gonna pull up to the door and he gonna send her an Uber. She gonna come to the door. He gonna pay her by the hour or 30 minutes, and he gonna get his off and send that bitch on his way. Ain't no more being a player or none of
And he
that
gonna
shit,
feel like
man.
the man.
Unless
And
she
he gonna
gets
feel
some
like the
money.
man. He gonna feel like the man. When he send her on her way. He not gonna feel like a trick or nothing.
Nigga, it cost him the pair of Jordans. It only cost some Jordans. If you want a
Indeed.
real exotic one, it might cost a car note. You know what I'm
No
500.
dog.
Real
For
exotic,
sure.
you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Supermodel looking bitch for the knock on your door already ready to go. No
Mm.
conversation. So it's a different ball game. That was like frowned upon. Now these niggas rap about tricking and buying Birkin bags. I didn't grow up on that type of rap, bro. I grew up on some fucked up shit. I ain't gonna say it was right,
We know
but
what we grew up on. Bees ain't
and
bees ain't
and it's
S.
reversed. That whole shit is reversed now.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
is like, nigga, if you don't got no, a bitch could care less how cute you are nowadays, bro.
Indeed.
She don't give a fuck
Indeed.
how handsome you are. You actually
Indeed.
gotta have that bag to get an honest, faithful woman. Maybe, maybe. I'm not saying there's not a lot of good women out there still, but I'm saying, man, the game is fucked up for a real player. You gotta be on your P's and Q's, man. You're gonna have a drought season. Your drought used to be a month or two. Now it's gonna be 6 months to a year, nigga.
Well, it really, and
It's so
mind you,
hard out here.
that's dependent upon for real, because the other side of that is this, surf. It really dependent upon about like a lot of these niggas is nasty on the low. And they doing a lot of nasty stuff behind doors that these broads is really out here telling niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
brothers
man,
really
boy, oh
going
boy, the shit we be
they
hearing is crazy.
they doing a
I
lot
love
of
it when they
nasty
do it
stuff
too, because it
to
be
be
like, I
accepted.
knew you freaky motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Mind you, it's all over X every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like that's what I mean. Like the value ain't there no more. Like it ain't there. Like I remember remember when Pimps Up Hoes Down came out, or like American Pimp came out? Now, mind you, whether or not you ever thought you had it in you to go on a strip somewhere and move some hoes around, wasn't even the point. It was the fact that it made you feel a certain way. Like, yeah.
Man, the
You see what
movie, the movie, and doing that shit in real life when you fucking fell in love with you with this girl 24 hours a day. You take her to get her hair done,
Mm,
her nails done, you clothe her. You know she the one you gonna end up having a baby by. You don't be careful. You
mm.
fall in love. Nigga, pimps don't never say they fell in. Every pimp love they hoe, bro.
I've known a few because
Love
we
them,
know that's real. The bottom
nigga.
bitch is
That
really the one you love for real.
oh man, you really
If
love
we if
her.
we saying it
And
like how it's
at
supposed to
some
be
point,
said,
you notice niggas don't even make their bottom bitch do nothing no more. She ain't got to do a damn thing. She
she
ain't
straight.
selling no more.
She
She
managed.
just chills. She run the bitches. She
Yeah, she
makes sure
managed.
shit is good. She cook your
Indeed.
food. She sleep in the bed with you every night. She make your drink. Man, these are some of the best. These women got some of the best qualities in the world. But
Mm,
they nymphos, and they
mm,
like man, can't no woman tell me she just honestly doing it just for the money.
mm,
No. You doing it because it's an adrenaline rush and you get a kick out of it. You bust a nut off of it. Whatever. I don't know if you can say that on YouTube. But yeah, you like this shit. You one of them. You one
facts.
of them girls before you start selling it, you was already giving it up to anybody who wanted some.
Whoever wanted it, whoever might want to participate it. That's why, for real, a
Whoever
lot of
want to
these females.
participate, you with that.
That's why a lot of these females is becoming millionaire, or at least they're becoming 100,000naires off of OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that OnlyFans is the epitome of $2 hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where the $2 hoe syndrome was lives at. But the fact that you could go on there knowing that your subscription costs so little, and yet you can do so much to make a decent amount of money. Like that's not you thinking like a business acumen that's like, oh, if I lay on my back this many times a day. No, 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 no. That's you being addicted to that pipe and the things that come with that. And you just like, well, fuck it, I could get money doing this.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is for you young bucks. That's why y'all see 25 and 26-year-old girls with niggas like me and Ryan the Deuce. Because our level of thinking and how we feel about a woman ain't how these niggas could care less about a woman, first of all.
Indeed.
Some of these youngsters is painting their hand, they nails, painting their nails and they straight. I don't even get that. They painting their nails. All they did as a teenager is play video games. They wasn't outside. You know, they ain't got not a lick of game, don't know what to say,
They don't know
scared.
how they don't know how to maneuver through this
Oh
thing no
my
more.
God. They like their homeboy, all that weird shit. We see it. It's not the girl's fault, bro. It's not the lady's fault. It's not. It's not really their fault. I'm gonna
Mhm.
blame us for not telling these young bucks how to be a player. I think our generation and maybe the ones right up under me are the only ones who got the sauce, and those were the ones that we took up under our wing and had them with us, so they could see it firsthand. But after that, the millennials, the 2006s and seven babies and shit, oh man,
It crashed with
not a
MySpace.
lick
The
again.
crash out came with MySpace. Like as soon as brothers had access to being behind the screen and not having to like you could put the barrier up, it changed things. It
Tell me,
changed
am I
things.
lying, Ryan? Deuce? When all this
Mm,
shit came out, I was thinking about how I could connect with a girl across the world. I thinking about how I'm a beef with some dude. What possessed these young men to worry more about each other than some money or a female? Blew my mind. That's why I say all the women went gay because niggas stopped caring about it.
bruh. Listen, sir, I
All
was
they
locked
had was
up.
each other because you niggas want to drill all day.
I was locked up and I used to be mine. I had access to cell phones all day long. So I would be on the internet all day, either learning or watching videos about what was going on in the world. Right. And I used to be saying to myself all the time, like, it can't really be like this. It can't really be like this. I got outside and I saw it.
It
Like, yo,
was
for
it was
real,
even
man.
worse than what you saw on the news, bruh. And you know it's
Like,
a lot of young kids, man, that's growing up fatherless because these niggas was more focused on the streets, what another nigga thought, and what they seen on the internet versus what really matter in life. And the only
what
time
was
they care
actually
about
happening.
that shit is when they get behind bars. And then they want to claim God or Allah and all that shit. And it's cool, you feel me? Everybody gonna find God or find their way. But damn, my nigga, if you watching this right now and you a young buck, me and Ryan the Deuce to tell you right now that we knew what we knew right now, that none of the shit we did in the past, nobody give a fuck about. We would have been businessmen from the start. We would have looked at
Bruh,
street. I look at street niggas like dummies now. I don't even
to
look at
know
a
that,
street nigga the same. I don't want to be
yo,
around you. I don't want to
fuck that
deal
street
with
shit,
you.
sir.
I don't want to kick it with you. Nigga, I'm not fucking with no street niggas, bro. You gotta be about some business to hang around me. First of all, it gotta be about some money or some content. It gotta be us doing
I
something
ain't going.
productive. I don't got time to kick it and drink and smoke with you.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that. I'm not gonna dead you. I'm not gonna dead you because I understand that, many of the brothers, this just brothers that we just love and we care about. But I am gonna say this, man. Like, yo, for real, the fact that we could spend so much time at this point, like recognizing, like we can spend so much time on the internet seeing what's happening, and yet still not be active in our own lives and getting a dollar, building a business, leaving a legacy of some sort. Like, yo, for real, that's the lame shit that we've gotten to now. That's not happening enough, Surf. Like, if
You
there was
know what?
anything of substance that I could really, bring to the forefront, it would really be the fact that, like, yo, fuck all that penitentiary shit, fuck all that street shit. It's really just about the fact that, like, niggas have access to more information than we've ever had. Like, this has been a conversation for years now. If you're not using that information to like do something, then what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
I
that's really
used
what
to
it boils
say
down
this a long time ago, man. Niggas is just wasting space and fucking up opportunity for niggas like me who really want the shit.
to. Boy,
But
you
you
tell
know
it.
what? It's okay because the real always gonna prevail anyway. We still gonna win. People like me and you who got that winning spirit and that leader mentality. It's not that we think we the shit or that we think we better than nobody. It's that we in a room full of people and nobody has an idea that they want to express. We will express our idea and act on it right then and there. Man, I think we should do this. The next thing you know, we're doing a whole fucking podcast. Just because I thought about it. Man, I'm about to start a podcast. I'm going to call this shit the news you can use. I'm going to have 14 hosts. I'm going to do interviews with anybody I hit up. And all this shit going to work out the way I planned it. And
Mm.
it did. I guess that's manifestation or just a person that ain't going to give up. But if you ain't a quitter and you down to stick with anything for a good 6 months to a year, I guarantee you get some type of results.
That's a fact. I think there's also a
I,
confidence that comes with like survival and accomplishment. Like there's an elevation of mind and thought that comes with like, oh shit, I made it through this. Oh shit, I did this. I set my mind to this. Like, yo, for real, if you were ever in the streets in any kind of way, whatever you might have did, whether you was a trapper, whether you was a pimp, whether you was a robber, whether you was a killer, if you would manage to make it through that and you still here now and you have access to society currently, like you're not in a cell or something like that, then the reality is you should only be aiming at a few things: long-term wealth building a family and leaving a legacy that has a name that is rock solid. If you're not aiming at that, then most conversations aren't going to go that far anyway. At least not with me,
You
because
said
that's the only
most
things I know.
conversations ain't about to go that far anyway.
Nah, nah,
And,
it's not.
Deuce, I've been learning so much, man. The more this grew, the more I came here so I can rub shoulders in LA. I kind of wish I'd have stayed in Sacramento and stayed to myself because a lot of these
Mm,
people are not who you think they are, bro.
mm,
You think that they're about business. You think they didn't grow up. You think they not on that bullshit no more, and it will disappoint you on who does it. And you don't even know how to react to that kind of shit. I know
what
how
you
to
mean?
react to street beef. I know how to react to niggas on the street. I know how to react when I'm walking down the street. But when I'm in business and I'm coming to meet with people that I, look up to or that I fuck with, and they start showing that ignorant side, it makes me
Mm,
lose hope. And
mm.
not what I'm doing, but just like, oh no, that's what that's like. So let me just kind of stay away from that type of shit because I might as well go back in the streets.
I think for real, surf. So earlier, well, last year I was in this program, this thing out here in Colorado called Urban Leadership Foundation Colorado. With this program, a lot of great people. I met a lot of dope people in it, right? So I was sitting with this black PhD one day, highly intelligent man, super cool, right? We ended up clicking, completely different lives. He didn't been to college. He got a master's degree. He got a doctor attached to his name. I'm just who I am in this life. But I've had the opportunity to learn some shit, and so I ended up in some cool rooms, right? What ended up killing me was the fact that we probably in the conversation probably about 20 minutes, and he get to talking to me about like all this street shit that he had been in and like stuff that he was currently connected to. And I realized in the conversation, like, you became a doctor for nothing. Like
Nigga said
I
he did all this shit
like I
just
n-
to still be that
and then
nigga.
no, I'm not saying it
I
like you
get
did
you.
it. Like you did it and then you ran to the streets to go and do some bullshit. It was the fact that here I am as a person who came from this, and I've managed to make it to sitting here with you, and you have doctor attached to your name, and yet you want to talk to me about street shit because my aura is stronger than yours. Like, and yet I want to sit here with you because I'm looking for a different area of life to expand and grow in. You see what I'm
Right,
saying? And
nigga, I
yet to
don't
you,
want it.
it's like, oh
Oh
shit, he a
yeah.
G. I'm like you thinking backwards. like, like, come on, man. Like, I I thought I was going in the right direction, finding you, but you finding me. It's like, you know what? I fucked this up. I should have stayed away from you because for real, you not far enough removed enough to understand why I came looking for you.
I don't want to go too deep into details, but it's
You
on my
know?
YouTube channel. Y'all can go check it out. But I had one of the most enlightening, horrible experiences as a businessman, not being a businessman, just hanging out with people that's I guess that's in the game, and it just showed me that all that like mingling, friendship, trying to like be cool with these niggas is out. Don't you even try it, right? I'm telling you, you're gonna be disappointed, man,
You
because
already
these
know.
entitled motherfuckers really be on some other weird shit, and I'm just thankful that I'm at a place right now where I understand that I got shit to lose. So I could take words, even if they disrespectful, long as I ain't touched. It's all good. But it let me know the other person ain't thinking about their situation, their lives, and what can happen to their motherfucking ass. Cause,
Mm,
every man wake up and put their drawers on the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, man, niggas is really out here. This is how these rappers are losing their lives. This is why rappers are dying so often. No
mm,
respect. It's no, we come from a respect level of things. Some things you just don't say, some things you just don't do under no circumstances unless you're really ready for that. And I don't think even, grown men our age that's in this life, that's in the game, that they really realize how serious that is.
Mm,
You get
mm.
what I'm saying? So I
I
just take
don't.
that experience with it was bittersweet for me, but it let me know where I'm at. I was never like focused on, you don't watch the messenger, you just listen for the message. And the message was, boy, you reaching another level in life where you don't even feel offended by words. And you gotta have tough skin to even be on this camera because words could come right through these comments at any time and say anything
That,
they want to say about us. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta have some tough skin. Even they'll threaten you. They'll say anything on this on this shit. You get what I'm saying? But in person, I didn't know I was ready for that. And when it happened, I thank God it was somebody I really liked and fuck with their music and kind of looked up to at the time. I'm like, you know what? If it wasn't you, I don't know how this situation would have turned out. But thankful it was you. I needed the message because it let me know where I'm at. I'm in this room for a reason. And if I'm not likable, then just, you know, move on with the situation. But for me to affect a person to the point where it gets disrespectful, let me know, okay, I actually got I got some leverage in this room. You know what I'm saying? I got
hmm
it's some motion going on in this motherfucking room. And I'm not one of those people who look at myself from the outside. I'm only me, motherfucker, so I know what I got going on. I'm not thinking no higher than that. I ain't thinking I'm no better than that, but I'm gonna move accordingly. And it just had to let me open my eyes to see where this shit could go and where it could take us. It could take us anywhere we want to go, Ryan. I'm telling you, just the consistency of it. You're gonna meet people. You're gonna network with people. Everybody you're not gonna like. Some people you're gonna want to like, and hope that things go well. But sometimes they just won't when you got that aura, like you said. When you got that aura, or you just you unbothered by certain things, and you in your own zone. Everybody ain't gonna when they feel like they're supposed to be the attention in a room, and you walk in and you grab that attention. Everybody don't like that.
Yeah, that's for
I got to
sure.
tone.
I'm gonna be
I
looking for
didn't know
that.
I had to tone that kind of shit down. I was like,
That's
I don't do sword fighting. I don't do, I don't do all that old weird shit. It's like be yourself around me. I say the highest regard to God is being authentically you. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm buzzed, I'm authentically me. If I'm sober, I'm authentically me. If I smoked a little something, I'm authentically me at all times. I'm not over here trying to hold my aura back to make you feel bigger or less. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yes, sir. So we talked about where hip hop is at, but I want to get in more. I feel like the ladies are getting it worse. Okay, we know the drill music is killing us. What is this sexy red? The ugly girl. Not to call her ugly. She's a cute girl in her own way. But when I grew up, she wasn't gonna be the one everybody in the class was like, "Ooh, I want to look like sexy red." Now, when did the ugly girl who liked to fight the pretty girls become the cool bitch?
I mean, I don't know. Probably around the same time that not wanting to go and just be active amongst them became a thing, and just being a person on the internet behind a screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can dilute yourself, the further you push it, you push yourself away from a thing. At one point in time, like, you had to actually be outside. You had to be willing to dress a certain way, talk a certain way, smell a certain way, and pull up. You know what I'm saying? Now, you ain't gotta do that. All you gotta do is go on the internet in one of these different spaces and whichever one you feel like you get the most love in, like something and send a DM. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes it a lot easier to aim for something that's, you feel like you could get versus aiming at something actually having to pull up and you might get turned down. So it makes it easy for the
You know what
average
though?
one to live now.
Yeah, say it. Say you go ahead. You about to say
Yeah,
it.
it
The
makes it
average,
kind. I mean, the average can live now.
you
And
ain't
I
lying.
want
That
to bring this joint to a close too quick, neither, but I have a, studio joint I got to get to in about 45 minutes to sir.
you know what's crazy about it is the more I see her, the more attractive she started to get to me. Knowing damn well I knew girls that looked like her in high school and wouldn't give them a chance.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But because it's always like it always been the little ugly chick that's with the shit that'll let the whole team hit. It's always been the little chicks like that was flippers. We always knew a little nasty girl that come to the park and give everybody some of that bobble.
for
We
sure.
all we everybody in every neighborhood know a
It's
crew
always
of
been
girls
hoes.
like that.
It's always been hoes. It's always been
Straight
hoes.
hoes. Like you might catch gonorrhea, you might get burnt, fucking with her going over there in the projects.
But
Yeah,
it's possible.
she
I
might
always
set you
ain't
up.
lying.
You don't know what'll happen. Like she
Yeah, but I
gang
dig it.
bang, she got a gun. We
Uh,
all know a girl like her, bro. We all know,
for sure.
hood rat females. You feel me?
For sure.
But then we're not like they was popular in the hood for sure. We love them, we like them. We know a million of them. But you could have never told me that they would be the hottest rappers in the sex symbol of America.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not as if none of the female rappers we ever had were like super. I mean, Eve was bad in her own right. I think Lil Kim was job bad. You know what I'm
Lil
saying? But
Kim was bad before all that
yeah, um,
plastic
Queen Latifah
surgery.
was always pretty, but we never had like, Missy wasn't
Super
like,
pretty like rapper females.
yeah, like we never really had none. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
this, we had our
she was
gangsta
beautiful.
booze. We had the Mercedes. I remember the female from No Limit. I remember the girl from 3 6 Mafia. I
Yeah.
remember the girl from Crime Mob. She was fine. Both
Mm,
of them, the dark skinned one and the light skinned one from Crime Mob, they both were some bad little chicks when they came out. So I
yeah,
was some, you
that
feel me?
gangsta
I,
boo.
I
Oh,
was,
that's
I
a good
kept my eye open.
song. Yeah, yeah. It was. I
But the
mean,
girls we got right
I don't
now,
know, man. I mean, it ain't never been like nothing to me. Ain't never none of the rapper chicks ever been super bad. Ain't none of them ever been super bad. Like the bad ones were always in R&B. You know what
R
I'm
and B.
saying? Shit like, or they were models. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as far as like rapper bras, like none of them would ever. But but the ones that we did have did matter. Like Lauren Hill was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now the average lives. Not only can you be average, your flow can be average. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't even really gotta say nothing. All you gotta do is just basically be like pornography over beats. You know, that's all. That's it. Talk nasty. And I ain't into none of that. Like, I should not get no burn in my whip, but
Man, look, don't
you
even
know.
be surprised if you hear me come out with a couple twerk songs or something. Just
I mean, do what you gotta do.
that's our era though. Ron,
Do
the
what
thing is,
works.
we went to house parties and they played whistle while you twerk.
True.
Like I grew up to that shit. It
Yeah.
just you heard Dr. Luke. That's some of the most early
Yeah, you
Tootsie
heard me.
Roll and all that good shit. Nigga, that shit made the girls go crazy back then. It
Yeah.
always been. You know what I loved about our eras? We had a good variety of music that was popular. You still got a
Mm,
good variety of music, but all of it ain't popular. And it's only what pop up on your timeline. It's like basically whatever you most like and subscribe to is what you're gonna see. So our timelines could be totally different. Yours could be full of real hip hop. Mine's could be I got a little bit of everything, ancient aliens, all kind of shit going on my timeline because I watch a little bit of everything.
yeah, I'm
But
with you.
I think if you just indulging in a gang of ignorance all day, the computer and the app is built to send you exactly what you want to see. So I really feel like You might know about an artist that's big as fuck where you at, who other people know about, but I don't know about. I don't think everybody is worldwide as how they used to be. They not. It's not like that no more. Ain't nobody really global like they used to be, and I don't think we're gonna see a lot of globalness stars blow up in the near future. If you look at it, they killing the culture and they dumbing it down to where the average Joe could be famous, don't matter what ethnicity they are, and they can control a wave. And all it takes is a flood of a certain people.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you just gotta be willing to stand up and be a part of what's happening. I mean, whether or not you're global, global doesn't even have the same meaning that it once had, especially because, everything is just digitized, which means that on the internet, if you can be heard in Europe, you can be heard in Africa, and you can be heard in Australia, then technically you're global. You know what I mean?
The great thing about it is you don't need a big fan base to make no money no more. You could grab a solid 1,000 people and sell a T-shirt, or grab a solid 1,000 people and throw a concert. Grab a solid 1,000 people and kind of promote whatever you want. You don't need 1,000,000 views to make $1,000,000 no more. And a lot of people showed us already. Number one, La
Right.
Russell. You could go look at his numbers on his albums. He ain't hitting Billboard or none of that, but he's selling direct to consumer to his fans. So the people who fuck with La Russell is the people he gonna make his money off of.
For sure. You
I
definitely
know you
down
said you
on it.
got something to do, so I'm gonna let you go, man.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to meet up, take care of some things in the studio with a couple of people. Of course, I love building with you as always. I ain't gonna let as much time pass between the next time, though, for sure.
Yeah, tap in, man. If you could get some of that footage of that studio time, man, make sure you capture some of them conversations, capture behind the scenes, because I think people want to see more what happened behind the scenes and how you created it, and then you could talk about how you created it before you even put it out.
True indeed. I agree. Yeah, I've been working on that part a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Content is key, man. Just
Yeah,
give them as much content as you can.
that's a fact. Definitely down on it. As always, I appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. And this is the News You Can Use podcast. This is my boy
News you
Ryan
can
the
use.
Deuce, man. Y'all go check out his music. He's actually a dope artist. He actually, got some bars. He
I
actually got some
appreciate you for that,
substance.
for sure. I appreciate you
Tap
that for
in.
that for sure. Yeah, please
Y'all
tap in
can
with your
check him
brother
out.
Ryan to do Ryan underscore or underscore number two on IG, man, if you're looking for me. Ryan or Deuce on any platform. Tap into what I got. I promise it's good.
And we out.
Peace, bro.
Yes, sir.